Welcome back, everybody. We are Bethany and Luke from Greyloft Studio. We're a husband and wife team, and we are actually wedding photographers and videographers. But we're here to talk to you today about what it means to hire a business coach, especially, for creatives like us, and how important it is. And sort of, we want to tell you a little bit about why we hired a business coach and the difference that it made in our business.
Yeah, there's a lot of different factors that go into hiring a business coach, like the type of niche your business and the right timing to get a coach to take your business to the next level.
So today we're going to talk to you about some of the steps that it took for us to decide on whether or not we should get a coach and what it would really mean for our business if we didn't hire a coach. And that's really what we want to hone in onto you today, is that, it's not necessarily for everyone, but we think that there's a place for coaches in almost any business, but especially one that's a creative business like ours.
Well, coaches do a lot of things, from help you reach specific goals, help you kind of get into the mindset of, to be a successful business means to be trying a lot of different things. It means there's going to be lots of failures and lots of successes. So really it's about coming back, standing back up after those failures, that mindset of resilience, of taking those punches, but being able to withstand it all and having somebody support you through all of that.
What we found for sure while having a coach that was extremely beneficial to us was having somebody there that was completely in your corner, like your biggest cheerleader. And for us, that made a world of difference. I don't know if this is something that you might be struggling with, but it definitely is something that we struggle with, is just having people in your corner that really believe in you. Of course, there's people that say, good for you, you've got this, but people who actually, will refer you, people who will actually think about you and, really motivate you in ways that perhaps you're not able to motivate yourself. And that really was the kicker that I needed for sure to hire a coach.
Yeah, we both had coaches for different parts of our business, of our life. I'm just really new into the business now, being full-time. And then Bethany here has been full-time for quite a while. And I remember the transition of you going full-time from having a steady government job into, self-sufficient income, and how that is transformative. The business coach, I know, took you, from here and really elevated you when I couldn't. I believed in you. I was there as a supporting husband and partner and father to our kids, but her who, was your sounding board when I was coming home from work and just exhausted. I just couldn't do it, right?
Yeah, and I think that that's partly why I just needed somebody who believed in me 1,000,000%, that would never just say maybe you should give up. Because I don't know if you have it, but we definitely have family members, and it always seems to be them who just sort of give you a little bit of doubt. And I mean, let's be honest, we already put enough doubt in our minds. We already, have that little person on your shoulder who's saying perhaps you're not good enough or you're not as good as somebody else. And so having a coach was somebody who I could just say, this is happening to me and this is how I'm feeling. And, just sort of give me guidance on that's normal to feel like that. But here are some of the ways that you could actually pivot and change that perception and just make things better and stop worrying about what everybody else was doing. And that was really a big transformation for me, because you kind of get stuck in that almost imposter syndrome and comparison, I call it comparison train wreck, because essentially as you're on that comparison train, there's nothing that's gonna be positive about that unless you're in a good mindset. And that's really what having a coach is all about.
If you haven't already and you're enjoying the content that we're releasing, please subscribe and like this video. It means the world to us.
We really want you to know that we put out content like this every single week. So it's so important that you hit that button. So go ahead, hit it now before we dive into some really amazing content. If you're on the fence about hiring a business coach, I encourage you to reach out to them. So don't feel like you have to just go with the first person that you meet, and they're perhaps pitching you like a salesy kind of slimy feeling. There's lots of business coaches out there. What I found was really important was the way that they made me feel. So if I was choosing a coach, I wanted somebody who would just be all about lighting that fire. And if you don't know what I mean by lighting that fire, I'm talking about literally lighting a fire under your butt that makes you do things that you probably would never have been able to do without them sort of just like building you up and making you feel like you're $1,000,000. And if you haven't been in that type of environment yet, I really encourage you to reach out to a couple of coaches and have some discovery calls with them, because without that, I probably never would have be where we are today. Let's just put it out there. I don't think we would 100% not be where we are today had we not hired a business coach when I first quit my job.
Yeah, that's true. And like you said, there's so many different coaches out there. I think one of the first things you have to figure out, maybe through the discovery calls, is this person right for me? Is there specialty of coaching? Some are, growing your business coaching. Some are, getting better at editing, if you're talking about photography. Some are life and health and other things. But it's really the one that we chose is, like Bethany said, the one that will light a fire under your butt, will tell you how amazing you are and how, you deserve all that you're getting. And that really propelled Bethany with a positive mindset to grow the business to where it is today, where, we're both working full time in it.
Yeah, taking messy action has been definitely one of the things that we've excelled at. And what I mean by that is taking action and not really concerning ourselves too much about the consequences. Because if you focus in on what could go wrong or what could explode or what if I don't make enough money to pay our mortgage this month, if you focus on all of those negative aspects of, perhaps quitting your full-time job to do photography full-time, then you're never going to get there. The thing that you focus on the most is how successful you want to be and how you want to be, attracting your ideal clients. All of those things are really about mindset. So making sure that you are putting yourself in a position that allows you to, excel at anything that you try.
So Bethany, when is a good time to get a business coach?
The argument could be made that you could hire a business coach at the very beginning of your career or, during, sort of when you're thinking of perhaps quitting a side hustle to go full time, or perhaps when you're trying to level up, when you're trying to attract perhaps that higher end client that you've, been seeking or trying to connect with, and just perhaps having some difficulties around that. But I think for us anyways, from my experience, I really needed somebody that would let me dream big. I really wanted someone that could say, what is like your next 5 years look like, and what would be like your must, like your wish list of things that would happen to you. And I can tell you now that all of those things have come true since I started having a business coach almost 4 years ago now. So the things that I said on that first initial call are actually coming true, and it's kind of amazing. It's almost like something that you would pick out of a storybook, just the ideas that you could actually just manifest into happening. It's just unbelievable. So
yeah,
I'm just so happy that we decided to go on that route, because without it, we really wouldn't be where we are today. And I know I keep saying that, but it really is true when it comes to hiring a coach on that different mindset shift that can really just propel you forward. So I don't think that there's a specific time for when you should hire a coach. I think it really depends on how you're feeling. If you don't have the right support around you, if you don't have the right, mentors perhaps, then hiring a coach is a really like your only option at that point. And like, they're gonna help you immensely. Like, I really think it would be hard for them not to.
Yeah, exactly. At the beginning, when you need the courage to maybe shoot that new initiative to really take off, and maybe the new business that you're creating, whatever it is that you're doing, in the middle to really help you maintain, to handle those punches that come at you. It's really the person that keeps you going, keeps the wheels turning. What is it? Scaling, yeah, exactly. And outsourcing some of your stuff. A lot of the times you build a business and you get to the point where some of the stuff you just like, you don't really like doing it anymore.
Or you can't do it, right?
Yeah, you get so busy doing, the actual shooting that the editing or the social media or whatever it is. Those are just some of the common ones.
The website.
Yeah, that you outsource. But really they help you manage, and I always call it like you can be a rocket and they're just telling you where to shoot, right? It's really where to guide you. To use your time effectively, because to be honest, it is draining having so many different things to do. Website, social media presence, online engagement, Instagram, Facebook. You can't really do that on your own and try to run a business, especially if you still have a full-time job. So they're really there to help you manage the expectations, the goals, and then work backwards from that, and then keep you accountable throughout the whole process.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously there's different types of coaches and approaches that people will take. For me, I'm a bit of a dreamer. I like to think big, think bigger than big, and kind of work backwards from there and figure out, okay, well, if I want to make $100,000, how many clients do I need to do that, right? And breaking it down. Okay, well, if I see, 10 clients per month, that'll equal to, what I need to be hitting. And that was really, I know it seems really simple and you could do that on your own, but having someone there to say, okay, let's break it down. How are you going to get those 10 clients? What are you going to be doing? What do you think is going to have the most impact? Like Luke said, posting 20 times a day on every different platform, it's kind of ridiculous and impossible for somebody like us, It's just not something that really is realistic for us. And to be honest, I don't even know if our clients would appreciate it. They probably want to unfollow us if we were posting that much. So for us, finding what is really important to us, figuring out what we're really good at, and putting our efforts into that is really all a business coach is going to help you do. And I mean, there's obviously a whole bunch of other things that go into it, but that for me was just amazing. And having somebody just guide you through, almost hold your hand and cheer for you, right? I can remember sometimes I would go to networking meetings with my coach, and or she would be at the same networking meeting as me, and she would call me out. She'd be like, so, Bethany decided to do this, and, she took a chance. And I remember being so embarrassed because I'm like, why are you telling everybody these things? But it was amazing because everyone was just like, wow, I felt that exact same way too. And without, having her just be like that sort of anchor, that ball that just kept pushing me, like I wouldn't have been able to do them. And I'm so proud of all of the accomplishments that we've been able to do. And that really comes down to having, the people around you supporting you and cheering you on. And that really for us ended up being a business coach.
Yeah, that's true. And as you can imagine, Bethany and I have very different personalities, especially in the business sense. I think personally, we're pretty similar. We laugh at the same things, For a business coach, we might not even be well suited for the same kind of coach, right? Even the same person, because I'm the type of person that everything is a to-do list. I work on today, what is tomorrow's to-do list, and that's about the extension of how far I think business-wise. And Bethany is the opposite. She is very much a forward thinker, next year, 5 years, and etc. You combine us together and we work really well in tandem, but if we don't bring our goals kind of to the same level, yours up here, I'm down here, bring that here, and that's what the coaches really helped us do, really, is to make sure to bring Bethany's dreams and make them more into a to-do list, and my to-do list and make it more into some dreams, right? So you get the inspiration and, bit by bit, if you just keep working at what you love and what you love doing, and you're just really passionate about it, I believe anyone has the potential to turn it into a business, turn it into something that they can do full time.
Yeah, I mean, having passion for what you do is really, they say it's like not working at all. And it really, there's some times where it definitely feels like work, but for the most part, we're just really happy to be able to do what we do. Like, we've count ourselves so lucky, and we don't think it's because of one particular thing, but having a coach, like I said, was really a beneficial thing for us, especially when it comes to managing our personalities. Even before Luke was really involved in the business, having a coach was actually amazing because she would actually encourage me to talk to my family about the plans and dreams that I had, because they were sometimes like giving me a hard time behind the scenes, not even on purpose. Like it wasn't something that you were trying to do, but I can remember her saying, you know, why don't you have a family meeting and explain to them, okay, for the next X amount of months, these are my goals, these are my things that I really want to be doing. So it's going to take this much more time away from, you know, perhaps cooking family meals or being around on the weekends or being around on evenings. And so even if you're doing this on your own and your partner has nothing to do with your business, having a business coach really was something that they were able to help me walk through those scenarios. And like without it, I don't know if I would have survived, because it would take up so much space in my mind thinking, okay, well, you know, how am I supposed to do all of these things and post on social media and do all these, you know, tasks without having that support behind the scene? You know, we had a child, my dad lived with us, and he really made things, you know, he was a little bit of a skeptic, he always is. And so those are things that were challenging me. So having somebody there that could say, okay, well, like just break it down and tell them this is what I need. And it really made a big difference for us. If you've been on the fence about hiring a coach and you perhaps want to just talk to somebody, you know, face to face, we're actually going to do something that's pretty awesome and amazing. We're offering free 30-minute calls for anybody who just wants to talk about questions about anything to do with coaching. And it's not something that we take lightly, because we know that this is going to be on here forever, but we want you to know that if you see this video at any point, we're going to put a link below, and that link is going to be valid for you to book a 30-minute call with us. And it really is for you to ask questions, understand if, you know, maybe coaching is something that you might need to invest in, because we know that it's made such a miles and miles and miles of difference in our business. So we believe that no matter what, like, everybody should be considering it. And if you have questions about it and you just want to ask somebody, we're the people that are going to do that for you.
Yeah, it's actually, I really thought of something that we should have mentioned earlier, and this is an investment.
Yeah.
You said it the best. It's an investment into your future, into the future you. It's kind of like buying a course, learning a new skill. The business coaching is learning skills as you go, and it evolves, right? Like, we're actually on a different coach now. Like, we're getting coached by a second business coach, because we found that our business has evolved, has gone in a different direction, and we just found that this one resonated with us more so than the first one.
Yeah.
But the first one was so important and impactful and really propelled us to where we are, and then we are ready to make the next step.
Yeah, so it's not that you have to have the same one forever. They would never expect you to do that. Obviously, there's that connection there, so it makes things a little bit easier. But sometimes whenever you're trying to make changes, that's kind of where we're at anyways.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that we won't go back, but for now, we're just sort of heading in a different direction. So we're really excited, and we hope that you'll take us up on the 30-minute chat. Yeah. We know that it's going to make a huge world of difference. It's a Zoom chat, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world, as long as you can understand French or English, we can speak both, then we're happy to chat with you and hopefully be able to answer some questions around coaching that you might have.
Yeah, that's true. What we've done is just described our experience with business coaches from the beginning of our business to now taking a leap into the next level. So at any point in your business, if you're feeling like you're hitting a wall, like nobody is around you to support you, or you're just kind of feeling alone, just reach out to business coaches in your area that are in your niche, or that are doing something like, for example, if you're a photographer but you're really looking for a mindset coach, there are some that are very specific. So take a look around, which one is more your style, what you need, and really resonates with you. The connection is really important, because there has to be that level of trust between you and your business coach, so that you are both listening to each other's feedback and really taking, you know, steps forward and making progress.
So as always, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.